Hi there, welcome to the Happy Chicken Coop YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to be talking about the Cream Legbar Chicken, everything about that breed. Before we get into that, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, be sure to subscribe to our website, thehappychickencoop.com. If you subscribe using the link in the description, you'll receive a free ebook on the 10 best egg-laying chicken breeds. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. So, the Cream Legbar has become a firm favorite here in the US, at least in part for its blue eggs. As you imagine, the breed was not created overnight. In fact, it took several decades of study, research, and testing to get the bird we know today. So in this video, I'll explore the Cream Legbar's temperament, if it's suitable for your flock, its blue eggs, and more. Let's talk about the background and history. Prior to 1931, there was no such bird as the cream-crested Legbar. The story of this bird is the result of the work and vision of two men, Professor R.C. Punnett and Professor Michael Pease of Cambridge, England. Professor Punnett led the breeding program at the Genetic Institute for Cambridge University. Michael Pease worked with him, and when Professor Punnett retired, Professor Pease took his place. Punnett, a famed geneticist who went on to write many papers on genetics, was working on producing chickens that would be auto-sexing, making sexing chicks easier and foolproof. In 1930, Clarence Elliott, a renowned horticulturist, gave Professor Punnett some South American Araucanic chickens that he had collected on his travels. These chickens laid blue eggs. Professor Punnett, now retired and working at home, started crossing these birds with a gold-penciled Hamburg. Numerous crossings and black crossings followed, and eventually he produced a cream-colored bird. The professor now had a color never seen in chickens before: cream. This was a breakthrough in finding a recessive gene. Professor Pease, working separately, also came across the cream coloring in one of his projects, the two men crossing their birds, and the Cream Legbar was eventually born. It was first exhibited in 1947 at the London Dairy Show. We are lucky to still have this breed around today. In the 1970s, the breed almost became extinct, and there was no market at the time for novelty eggs, so people were not buying them, and that started to change when the more upmarket stores started selling the blue eggs. Suddenly, the Cream Legbar was popular again. So let's talk about the appearance. The Cream Legbar is a light fowl with males weighing 7.5 pounds and females 6 pounds. It has a triangular shaped body with a long flat back. They have a single red comb with 6 points. Wattles are also red. Earlobes are cream or white. Eyes reddish bay in color, and the beak is yellow to horn colored. The beak has a slight downward curve. Both sexes have a crest that should not fall forward, otherwise it'll obstruct their vision. Males hold their tails at 45 degrees, the hens slightly less. Wings are held close to the body. The coloration of the Cream Legbar is a combination of cream and grays. The barring is most noticeable on the tail and breast of the males. Female barring is much more subtle, and she may have some salmon color to her neck and breast. The legs should be clean, yellow in color, have 4 toes. They have an upright, alert carriage. The skin is also yellow. Now let's talk about the standard. Currently, the American Poultry Association does not recognize the Cream Legbar as a breed. It was, however, recognized by the Poultry Club of Great Britain since 1958, where it joined the other two Legbar varieties, gold in 1945 and silver in 1951. It is classified as a rare soft feather light fowl. Now let's talk about the disposition and egg laying. There seemed to be some disagreement about the temperament of this bird. Some sources say they're flighty, nervous, and noisy, whereas others say they're docile, friendly, and easily handled. Why the discrepancy? Perhaps it has to do with there now being two distinct strains. There are those that conform to the original standards and those that can be best described as production birds. In general, Cream Legbars are friendly, easily handled, and quite sociable. They do have a wild side, which is why they don't particularly care for confinement. They are excellent foragers, very watchful and predator savvy. Roosters can be aggressive, especially in mating and breeding season. Now let's talk about the egg laying. They're very productive layers, averaging 4 medium-sized light blue eggs per week, which equates to around 230 eggs per year. Some sources state they are broody, others disagree. Broodiness will therefore depend on which strain you have. They are auto-sexing, which means chicks are distinct at hatching. The female will have a noticeable dark chipmunk stripe down the back. The male stripe is much less distinct. Poor quality birds will likely be difficult to sex. Now, let me go into a little bit the difference between auto-sex and sex-link. What's the difference between the two? Auto-sexing birds are those breeds that will produce offspring that can be sexed at birth, meaning you can tell what is a female and a male, and the chicks will go on to breed with their kin and produce more auto-sexing birds. Sex-linked chicks require 2 different parents. For example, a New Hampshire rooster and a barred Plymouth rock hen equal a black sex-link chick. The sex-linking requires you to have 2 separate breeds to pair up, as the sex-linked chicks will not breed true. Now let's talk about the common health issues of the Cream Legbar. They appear to be healthy with little in the way of problems. The crest should be carefully checked for lice, as birds with headgear have a tendency to collect them. While very rare, they can get a type of wryneck or torticollis. This may in fact be a seahorse syndrome, which is caused by a rare type of recessive gene particular to crested breeds. As with all crested breeds, you should be careful when introducing juveniles to adults. The skull is not completely formed, and a peck in the right spot can cause brain injury. In addition to these usual health concerns, you have the usual parasites, which can be expected: mites, lice, and worms. Regular health checks and preventive measures will keep your birds healthy. So is the Cream Legbar the right chicken for you? If you can provide them with an area to patrol, it's better. Although they can tolerate confinement, they don't do it gracefully and may become flighty and difficult. They do have a tendency to get panicked on a mixed flock, so they should be kept separate with docile, non-aggressive breeds. In general, they're fairly low maintenance. Since the APA does not recognize them currently, 4-H is not an option at this time. Small children should not be near the rooster until it has been established what the personality is, how aggressive it is, if it is aggressive, and also probably just shouldn't do it during mating season. If you're looking for a chicken that is different, lays blue eggs, and is semi-independent, this may be the right chicken for you. So to summarize, the prestigious lines of Jill Reese have been imported in the US, but unfortunately, a few of these lovely birds will set you back quite a few dollars. They can be bought cheaper from some hatcheries, but as always, you get what you pay for. We hope you've learned about the Cream Legbar, and hopefully you might add a few to your flock. That's going to do it for us here at the Happy Chicken Coop. Thanks for listening. If you find our content interesting, if you learned something new, please be sure to subscribe and like the video and subscribe to the website. With that, I hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.